Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to assemble a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And before I get too far into it, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you just feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, well, then you don't have to say anything at all. You can just be a lurker. That's also okay. Lurking is fine. I am working on the Narrative Gundam Master Grade B packs. We have not gotten to the B pack part. We're still on the whole Narrative Gundam part, and we're getting there. I think we will body complete this kit tonight. Lashberg is here. Hello, Lashberg. Happy to have you here. But yeah, I think we will get the weights done and the connector from the weights to the core fighter, which serves as a torso, and then start on the regular backpack, and then the clear parts, because we got all these clear parts to put in here. I will say, other than obviously that screwing it up, the clear plastic, the background remover is removing the goddamn background, and I think it is doing a fantastic job. I'm very pleased with this. This is the second stream since I have gotten the new graphics card. I tweaked some settings here and there on a few things. Now instead of the GPU, my CPU is the bottleneck, so that's interesting. But I've offloaded some stuff to the GPU, and I will go to the overhead camera, and while I work on this, we'll talk about it. So I ran some stuff, some tests. If you're unaware, there's a thing you can do called the bandwidth test in OBS, where you don't really go live, but you pretend go live. Like, it doesn't go out to you. You don't get a notification that I'm live. I'm not streaming, but it pretends like I'm uploading. Now, this is normally a good way to test. One, if you got a strong connection, because you're not going to get any, you're going to get feedback about that. But also, it's good to test it like, oh, okay, is the bit rate working out? Is this consistent? It's good to do, just kind of see where you're at. Like, if you were streaming in a place, when I would travel and want to stream, I would always run a bandwidth test first, just to see what was going on and see if there was any issues. One of the things, I should say also, we're at 21 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. I shut up about my subscriber count when we hit 30. It's right over there. I'm at 21. Become a subscriber if you want to. And if you don't want to become a subscriber, don't become one. Simple as that. F12, J29, J27. I already did this once, so it shouldn't be hard to do it again. But you never know. Anyway, so I do my test. The bandwidth test, and one of the things I'm looking at is I want to see if I'm going to end up replicating an issue that I had previously, and if it was really what was going on there. Why was I getting like some encoding issues? And so I have made some changes to how my system is set up, and I ran a couple of graphic intense video games over the weekend. Yesterday and today, I re-downloaded WW2K25, a game I'm not going to stream again, but I wanted to because that had been a resource hog compared to other things that I had streamed. So I was like, what was going to happen if I streamed this again? And so I did a test stream with it, changed some settings in OBS. There's a setting you can do in display on the PC in Windows 11 that kind of just basically tells it like, hey, when in doubt, you should lean on this. Like, you should see if this is like, if you got some issues, lean on the graphics card. And so I did all of that, and I didn't run into an encoder issue, which I think was the reason why my computer froze up, was like, because it happened the same when my computer blue screened, which it otherwise hadn't done. When my computer did blue screen, it was because of it was during a loading screen for a CPU versus CPU match, right? A multi-person CPU match in WWE 2K25. So basically, it was like, okay, that's when the game is going to be at its most load, when it's like just loading up all of these characters, multi-person thing, and getting it all together and loading the venue and going into all of that. When that happened, and also I was streaming and recording. That's another part that I forgot to mention. Part of it is also that I was not only streaming but recording, because normally I like to have a recording that is not just the VOD on Twitch, because if there's any issues with the internet and my connection and all that, it's not in the local recording. So the combination of all of those things meant that occasionally there would be an issue, and it meant that my computer would freeze because it was just like it was overworked and overwhelmed. Okay, I should remember how to put this in because I did it previously. So that goes like that? No, this goes like this, goes like this. All right. I've already done this piece. Okay, yeah, so that definitely goes there. And that goes there. So then this should just snap into place, no problem. And it does, eventually. Had to work it a little bit. Okay, and then we flip it over. And then we put on M2. So basically, long story long, things seem to be running pretty well. Now, do I need a new hard drive as my main hard drive? Probably. This one is not this was a pre-built computer. It's definitely a little sluggish here and there. It would be probably smart for me to do this. Part of that is always going to be an issue of streaming on the same computer you're running games on. Is WWE2K25 optimized? Probably not. It's probably never been fully optimized to run as well as it could. So this could be an issue. I also ran Fallout 4 with all the mods and all the nonsense, and that ran fine. I didn't have any issues with that outside of the general issue of it doesn't want to work in the monitor I want it to work in. No matter what I do, I can't get it to work in the it wants to work in monitor 3. Not I want it to be monitor 2. It picks monitor 3 and it will only work in monitor 3. And I don't know why, but that's what happens with Fallout 4. Even if I don't use the mod manager, because I thought maybe it was something weird with the mod manager. If I just play it vanilla out of Steam, with Steam open on monitor 2, where it's set to open games in, still doesn't do that. Don't know why. It's very weird that it is like that. And I don't know why it's like that, but it is. It's kind of fucking weird. But I did test that and it seemed fine. Now, obviously, long term, I didn't test for 2 hours, so there's still a chance that things could get wonky and weird. Getting a new internal hard drive that can be my new C drive, and then turning what is the C drive right now into just internal extra storage is my next thing. There are two things that I want. That's the thing that is like, I want this. This makes the most sense. This is a thing that would like genuinely benefit the streams and what I do. And also, what I certainly don't want is this drive failing on me, because it's my main computer drive. So I don't want it failing on me. So it would be best to get this shit handled as soon as possible. And then below that is the thing that I originally was going to get. The next thing I was going to get is, I've talked about it on stream, my next planned upgrade was, now that I'm happy with the lighting and the camera, I wanted to address the microphone, because this is fine, but it's not great. And I have designs on a microphone that is both USB 3 and XLR, so I could use it as USB 3/USB-C. But also, if I wanted to, I eventually got a mixer that I could plug it right into the mixer, and that would give me a lot of options and would be really nice. So that is the thing that Originally, that was the next thing I was going to get. Sooner than getting a new graphics card, I was going to get that, but opportunity presented itself, and I jumped at the chance. So I don't have that as an option. I have to think about something else for that right now. So that's going to down the road. The new microphone is kicked down the road a bit because now I have to figure out about a new hard drive for this computer, and then also should I wipe it and start completely fresh, and I don't, or transfer it, and I'm like, ugh, I gotta do a bunch more reading. It's been a while since I've done something like that. I mean, the like, part of me says, well, Pat, you should very much just start fresh, get the opera, like, transfer all the files off this computer onto another hard drive, and then copy it, and then like do a full clean install. Like, it's like, but maybe I'll just transfer it all over and clone it. I don't know. Clone it, wipe it, reinstall. Like, I'm like, install it. I'm like, I think that's, I don't know. The nice thing is I have plenty of time before I have to make a decision on that, because I don't have a new hard drive. All right? Like, I don't have it. So I don't have to worry about it because it's not a thing that I have to think about right now. But I do need to do that at some point, because this thing is not going to be good forever. Some might say it's not good right now. When I do get a new hard drive for this, I will have changed out a lot of this 2022 pre-built. I will have changed out the graphics card, the main hard drive, the power supply, and the air cooler, leaving behind the chassis. And what else was it? Chassis. I've also doubled the RAM. I haven't replaced the RAM, but I've doubled the RAM in it. And then also, I don't know what else. What else have I removed from this thing? What I've kept? I mean, the motherboard and the CPU. I haven't upgraded those. Someday I will just build a new computer with this graphics card. I'll build a new computer around this graphics card, which would be neat. All right. So this goes in like this goes in like this, and then this goes in like that. Yeah, because it's the butt. There's the butt. Okay. Whoops. That popped out, which is fine, because it shouldn't be too hard to put it back in. There it is. All right, let's do the side skirts. We'll get the side skirts going here. Oh, we can do two of them at the same time? Oh, cool. G and I. So we need G10 and twice here. We'll get going on that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll actually end up getting a new anything these days, but new hard drive is the thing that I want. So I mean, obviously I'm going to get a new SSD, right? Like, I'm going to get a new SSD, but I think, like, I'll get a new SSD with SATA, like, probably. Hey, Lord Crashington, like, probably. Like, that, to me, makes the most sense more than anything else. Like, I think that's the right call. It's a great time to get a new hard drive. Yes, Lord Crashington, it certainly is. But, like, I do need that. That is a bottleneck. More than my CPU, more than my RAM. The bottleneck I have with this system right now is that the hard drive was not necessarily a great one. And then, 4 years into ownership, is certainly chugging along. And it would be a fine external hard drive to store stuff in, and I can like get rid of one of the other external drives that I have, or internal drive I should say. But I have like 2 storage drives. I have like the slower one that is a big ass dumb thing that I put in like huge files, and those hang out there. I keep a lot of my backups of like video stuff that I've done and stuff like that. If I like look at, yeah, because that's yeah, I've got a smaller 222 gigabyte internal one that I would eventually like maybe replace at some point with what I have here and make that, yeah. And then the one that I have like big stupid files on, which is now waking up because it is not an SSD. This is my old one. Yeah, this is a 2 terabyte drive, which right now, I'm only using like a quarter of it, so that's nice. Yeah, or about half of it. I got about half of it. I'm using it right now. Yeah, I gotta figure this out. My main drive right now is 500 gigabytes is the main drive, and I do want something that's snappier and maybe also bigger as my main. That would probably be a good idea. I gotta look into it. Like I said, I gotta do the research and do the math and figure all this stuff out, and then spend way too much money on it. But I'm gonna, because I do need a new hard drive. So we'll see. And again, kick down the road the new microphone. That was the thing I was going to get this year, and that is now less of a priority. It's still something that I would like, but oops, I accidentally just put a bunch of, I have to delete stuff here. I accidentally put down these on my keyboard. I have to fix my mistake, and I'm fixing it. I'm not going to get too deep into this news story thing here, but maybe I can do a bit of explanation on what this even means, what's going on with this. For many years, if you wanted to, like, obviously, the WWE had the WWE Network, right? And then eventually they were on Peacock. Now their stuff's on Netflix, right? So they had their own streaming service. There still are other streaming services that exist out there for live streams and archives of stuff from a variety of companies. Now, some companies run their own services, but there was a combat sports and wrestling, the site Fight TV, FITE TV. Fight TV was like, okay, we're going to be your home. Companies can use our streaming service, and you can pay a flat rate. You can do subscriptions to a service. They had a thing called Fight TV Plus, which got you like a bunch of stuff, including GCW. And they ran, and they were trying their fucking best, right? Small company doing their thing, running their thing. At a certain point, I think 2021, they were sold to Triller. Triller is a bigger, they're trying to be like a media conglomerate. They got their hands in a lot of different pies. Now, did they want this streaming service stuff? Not really. They really wanted the TikTok-like competitor app that they had, because they had a way to like upload clips and stuff, and they wanted the tech for that. That's what it seemed like. But for the most part, Triller left. Triller, they rebranded it from Fight eventually to Triller, rebranded it and kind of left it alone to do its own thing, right? Do its own thing, make its own money. AEW became a partner with them for international fans. If you lived outside of the United States and you wanted to watch AEW air live, you could get the Fight feed or the Triller feed, and you could watch that. It didn't have commercials. And you could watch that like live. And of course, Americans and Canadians who didn't have a cable broadcast could use a VPN and watch it themselves as well, of course. I'm not saying that didn't happen. That certainly did happen quite a few times for people. And that way you could also order, like you could say, oh, I'm a VPN, I'm in England, and then you could get it for the fight feed at a price that was not as terrible as getting it on Bleacher Report and then later Amazon and various other methods, HBO Max and the like. So he's like, oh, you could do that, and that like kind of worked out well for people. It wasn't ideal, but it worked out for people. And then a thing happened. At a certain point, the Triller folks at the top, the top of Triller Group, they merged with another company, and then they were like, okay, Triller is our most successful thing, and it makes a certain amount of money. And of course, then we have to pay out that money to the people that made that money for us. What if instead of that, we use the money we were making from the companies that make us money to pay for other things that are outside the Triller TV thing? Which is, of course, a fucking nightmare. And they did that, and now they're being sued. AEW is suing Triller TV, which in this case is like the fight group, which from this point on I will call Flips Media, because Flips Media is the corporate entity that underlines Triller TV. So they are like, well, we're going to sue you for the $5 million you owe us. Now, some companies got paid late, and some companies kept getting paid because they were bringing in new viewers and all that. But AEW this year was like, we're leaving Triller. We're leaving Triller because we've got our own service that you should check out, and that is myaew.com, and that's going to be your home for this. And it's basically the same fight feed that they used to send there. They just have their own thing, or they license a different group to do it. And people were like, oh, that's bad for Triller, right? It's obviously bad. And now there's a lawsuit. Meanwhile, the group, the Flips Media Group, has been trying to dissolve. They've been trying to go into bankruptcy and get bankruptcy protection, but they haven't been able to because they're just a branch of a company, because they say that the folks upstairs are not have abandoned them. They take the money and they're not helping them out. They're not taking care of them. They're using the money that gets generated from there to pay other things, and the money ain't there. I imagine the ways in which MyAEW sucks are entirely because they had to throw it together last minute. No, Lastbrook, it's because I mean, it sucks because how do I describe this? Fast channel companies all suck. There's no good ones. It's bad because there's nobody's going to do it better. There is, like, literally one of the reasons why people were still going to Fight/Triller is because that service kind of fucking works, and most of them don't. The people that they went with for MyAEW are bad at their jobs, but also nobody's fucking better. The people that made the MLW app and then later the WWE app are like the only ones that ever did it right, and everyone else fucking sucks at it. It's just they're all terrible at it. So they're trying to go file for bankruptcy. Their head organization basically gave the blanket statement of like, oh, what? We're getting sued? Weird. And yeah, AEW is going to get their money. Probably. Will they get all of it? Probably not. Is this the death of Flips Media Triller? Yes. Now, the Triller Group could sell it off for parts. They could sell the technology, they could sell the name, they could sell a bunch of different things. They could do a bunch of stuff. There is a buyer out there, Orange Crush, which is just his stage name. There is a mogul who loves wrestling and investing in wrestling, has tried to buy the streaming combat sports wrestling part of Fight. Doesn't want all of Triller, just wants that part. Has made an attempt to make that happen, and we'll see if that actually happens. Them being in this legal trouble might make it easier. It might tie things up because of creditors, but it does seem like the biggest creditor that they have is the money they owe AEW. They probably owe some other people money too, but that's the biggest one, probably the most they owe them. But yeah, I don't think that Triller TV will be a going concern in the near future. It just seems unlikely. Oh, there's a, and that's a shame because again, they do provide a valuable service, and also, like, obviously, I can't say, oh, they didn't have any money problems, because they did get sold, they did sell, right? And that, because clearly they did have some issues, but they were turning a profit. They were making money. They were making enough money that their corporate overlords were like, let's take it. Lashbrook, the thing is, they can't. Triller TV is trying to get a Delaware judge to let them declare bankruptcy, but they can't because of some fun loopholes in the law that were probably put in place in order to prevent such an action. So let me find this thing, because this is stuff I don't quite understand. Lord Crash, no, Triller is not a horror streaming service. It does sound like that. There's no H in it. It's Triller, not Thriller. Okay, so let's see if I can find this thing. A separate lawsuit was brought by Triller TV against its own parent, Triller Group. The two cases read together. Okay, so basically, Flips Media told the Chancery Court, Delaware Chancery Court, like, hey, it's unable to pay its debts. The company is insolvent. It can't pay its debts, but it can't declare bankruptcy because it does not have a board of directors. So it asked the court to declare its officers its board of directors so that they can consider whether bankruptcy is the best interest of the company and its creditors. Lord Craston, yes, you were thinking of Shudder, not Triller. Yes, okay. Yes, those are different things. Shudder's fine. They're not streaming stuff live. But as far as if you want to watch horror movies, they get a lot of independent, interesting horror movies coming through, and some old stuff. It's like, if you really like horror movies, it'd be good. But yeah, basically, so they haven't declared insolvency because they can't, but they are saying we are basically insolvent and we would like to declare bankruptcy, but we can't declare bankruptcy. We need your help to declare bankruptcy, which is, again, not a good sign. So that's probably going to happen. They're probably going to be able to declare bankruptcy by inventing a board. And we'll see what happens. Will Triller Group be under fire? Will they owe that money? Will Triller TV be able to sell and recoup some stuff they owe their creditors and debt? Who knows? Who can say? Once again, here's the crazy thing. None of this involves venture capital. It's all just other companies from various countries but there's no venture capital involved in these shenanigans. So that's kind of surprising. It was a lot. It was definitely a bombshell. The writing has been on the wall, but this was a bit of a bit of a deal. This coming out. We'll see what happens with it. And hopefully, one of the things is because people will say, like, why don't these channels just do stuff on, like, why have any of this? Why don't these people, these companies that are on there, why don't they just do it on YouTube? You can sell pay-per-views on YouTube. You can do membership things on YouTube. Why not just use YouTube? Is it because the cut is so bad? And the short answer is the cut is really fucking bad on YouTube compared to other places. But one of the things is that wrestling fans decided that they like the service and have shown that they are interested in having a membership on the service, using the service to watch stuff. And that is huge. And some people are on YouTube and they're trying the YouTube thing, and it sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't. There are a handful of places where you can watch wrestling stuff on channels and pay and do all that. Also, like I said, one of the things is that, like, part of the reason why people were into Fight is and then later Triller is because it worked. It actually worked pretty well. The tech was, like, decent, and you could, like, watch stuff, and it didn't fuck you over. And that's kind of crazy, unfortunately. We'll see what happens. A big day for independentwrestling.com, I guess. Which I have not looked at in a long time because that site ran like shit. So I tend to not watch stuff that's on there. And then also some stuff that I liked that was on there went independent. So we'll see. We'll see what fucking happens. Oops. Okay. There it is. That's what I was looking for. I was like, how do I get this to line up properly? These side skirts are a little strange. There we go. Okay, now we can panel line the waist because we have built. There's one more piece. There's one more piece we need to build here that goes in the middle before we can body complete this kit. But we can at least, if we wanted to, panel line this. So let's do that. And I'll see if there's other new stuff that we can talk about here. Oh, they did add some stuff. Speaking of wrestling, I'll just say, Double or Nothing does have 4 matches booked for it. It is a week from this Sunday, so I'm glad they've booked 4 matches. Like, MJF versus, probably on Wednesday, there'll be confirmation that MJF versus Darby Allin for the world title will happen. Like, that's that's all but confirmed at this point, that's going to be the match. So, like, that'll happen, and it'll be a hair versus title match. Like, that's all but confirmed, but it's not on yet. Okada versus Takeshita. Okada is handling personal matters right now, some family matters, it sounds like, in Japan. Hopefully all that goes straightened out and he'll be back for that, because it'll be awkward if he can't, because this is a long time coming to fucking have this match. But Okada Takeshita for the International Championship is scheduled at least. FTR versus Cage and Cope. It is an I Quit match. And if Cage and Cope lose, they have to retire as a tag team. And they've barely wrestled as a tag team. So I hope they win. Also, because, look, this is fucking the same. I'll say the same thing I said the last time they had a match, which was the last pay-per-view. I hate that I am rooting for two old men to have the titles in a company that has an insane abundance of unbelievably talented tag teams. I hate that I'm like, I want the old men to win. That's how much I don't want FTR to be champions anymore, that I will root for old men to win. We got a 14-man stadium stampede, which is bonkers. It's a lot of people. It's Chris Jericho, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin representing the Hurt Syndicate, and the 4 members of the Elite, which I don't think have ever, I don't think has ever competed together. Kenny Omega, Jack Perry, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. And they are taking on The Demand. That's Ricochet, Bishop Khan, Toa Leona, and 4 members of the Don Callis family. We don't know who. We do know one of them is Mark Davis. And then various other men. That's so many fucking men in this match. It's a goddamn lot of men. It's many men. And then Thekla is defending her Women's World Championship against Hikaru Shida, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. We believed that it would be Alex Windsor, but it's not Alex Windsor. And it's not Mina. I don't like that either. Mina's not in there. Shida, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander. Great. I think Thekla is going to retain. But fine. And we're going to get a Statlander Shida feud, which is I'm also fine with. That sounds good to me as well. I don't know. That'll be a good match. We don't know who Willow is going to face. We don't know who... maybe we'll see Willow, or maybe Mina, maybe Mina and Harley Cameron will go after the tag belts. I don't know. Oops, that came off. I gotta fix that. I don't know who's gonna go after the tag belts. Hopefully Willow will have an opponent and the tag team will have an opponent. We'll have opponents. I'd like to see the fucking Inspiration on TV. They have not been. They had a whole title run in another company in TJPW where they won the belts, defended them successfully, and then lost them. And in that entire time, they were not on television for the company that they work for. Which seems weird. They were on Ring of Honor, but again, that's not fucking television. Ring of Honor isn't a TV. It's weird. Speaking of weird, these things... There we go. Side skirts are probably my least favorite part of any model kit, and that includes this one. All right. I'm going to fucking work on this piece that is going to connect this whole thing together here. There's some text I have to read here. The mark indicates that you have removed all of the parts of the runner. All the parts on the J runner have been removed. Oh! Weird. I've never seen this before. This is strange. They're telling me that when I take J7 out, it will be the last piece of this this sheet, and I'll be done. Because I'm going to take J8 out, and then J7. And then they give me the trash icon. I don't think I've ever fucking seen that before. That's cool. That's weird, but like cool. It's like, oh yeah, you're done. Once you do that, you're done. You can throw this away. Again, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's interesting. I was like, why is all this text here? None of these parts look confused, look like they would require so much text. But yeah, it did require some text to let me know. Gaming stuff. Hey, Discord's doing a Game Pass. They're going to be doing some free games while you have Nitro. Which of course is the paid subscription service that they have. Paid users can get discounts on gear and access to Game Pass Starter Edition, which is basically a version of like a very small version of the Xbox version. Right now it's $10 a month or $100 a year, and you can get Stardew Valley and Fallout 4, and other stuff. I have not looked at this. I saw it and I was like, oh, interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I will. I guess I'll check it out. Like I do have Nitro. A year of it was gifted to me. I don't pay for my Nitro, but I do. I did receive it and I do use it. So I should, I guess, investigate, see what's up, see what's going on with that. Like I said, because I do have it. I do make use of it. I should also say that. I do make use of it quite a bit. It's nice to have because I do stream stuff out on Discord. So on some Discords, share my screen with about things and all that for various fun times. Nothing streaming related, but lots of good stuff. So yeah, I guess I'll take a look at that. I don't know. That was a small little news thing just to mention. And then let's see. So there's a cool thing. You know about pacifist runs. I don't have to tell you about the concept of the pacifist run, but they're out there. They're doing their thing. People out there trying to break games in certain ways, play games ways that were not intended. You know, have fun with it. Okay. I can't tell if I'm doing this right or not. Let's see. I think this is correct. So there's somebody who's been doing that with Bully. Just Garrison has been attempting to beat Bully without hurting a single NPC, which is not, on paper, not possible. Not a thing that he should be able to do, right? Shouldn't be able to do that. And he's found some exploits, and one of them, which is again, the world is filled with irony, would be great if you were trying to hurt people. You can use some weapons outside of specific missions. You can basically break the game in order to do that. You can exploit the game to do that, including the sledgehammer, the explosive football, and a rifle. Basically, let's see. And this is just an exploit. This is not mods or tools. It is a rifle that certainly shouldn't. What is it? Yeah, it's a BB rifle that you shouldn't be able to just use. It's from there's a shooting range mini game, and so it's from that. And again, this is not a thing that you should be able to just do stuff with, but you can now, and it does deal damage. So it might have. So again, people are speculating. They're like, "Well, was that supposed to be in the game?" And then they cut it. They decided not to because it does do damage, but you're not ever supposed to be able to actually attack anyone with it. So there's a lot of questions about it. It is it has brought up more questions than it answers. But it is cool, and it is really fun that like 20 years later, people are still finding fucking glitches and exploits in an old video game. I find that to be neat. I think that is neat and cool. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble getting this pieces together properly. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Okay. It goes like this. This piece goes like that. think. Okay, so that goes like that, and that goes like that. And then E11 and J7. I have J7 already. So yeah, I thought that was fucking neat. I thought that was cool that they're still finding new exploits in that game so many years later. It only fires BB pellets. Let's see, yeah. And again, people are like, well, it was a year after Hot Coffee. Maybe originally you could shoot people with a BB, and then they took it out. But yeah, now you can. And there's video if you want to learn how to do it. So you can exploit that. And I wonder if this will help with like speedrunners or anything like that. I wonder if this exploit will help. Because a lot of the folks that do the like win in weird ways gameplay stuff, a lot of times speedrunners do look at that to see if they can learn some stuff, make some things happen. All right, so this is gonna go like this. Okay, so that goes like that, and then this goes like this. All right. And then this. Okay, so you put it in like that and then twist it. So this is going to be, this has to be is important because like this is going to be flimsy because this is the core fighter and it comes out. So this part has to be secure. So it is the turn and twist method. So I'm going to go like this. Oh, I should, you know what? Before I do this, sorry, I know we're so close. I should panel line this because it might be fucking annoying to get in there with a marker later. It might not be, but it might be a pain in the ass. And that's it for news stuff. There wasn't a lot going on. There is a date for the what we got going on here. There's July 7th. We got that anime, so that's kind of cool. I should say what it is. I want to see if there's the full title was said. Let's see. Lives of P. The developers of Lives of P want to have a and they're specifically looking for an quote unquote AI artist. And that's garbage. So fuck Lives of P 2. That sequel can eat my ass. Here we go. The Ghost in the Shell animated series is coming July 7th. It's coming to Prime. So I'm glad about that. As someone that has Prime, I am happy that I will be able to watch that there. July 7th. So the summer season. It is being done by Science Saru. Science Saru, who made Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin, Devilman Crybaby, Sonata, which I didn't love, but like is kind of interesting. Science Saru makes cool shit, and they are clear by the trailers, at least. They are doing an adaptation of the manga. This is not a like, oh yeah, this is influenced by the manga, not influenced by, let's say, like standalone complex or everything else. And that is encouraging and interesting that they have made that choice, and I am fucking stoked about that shit because that's the shit I like. We're gonna see the major be kind of weird, and that's fun. It's kind of fun and funny. So that'll be cool. All right, we did it, everybody. It's so big, I have to zoom out a little bit to get it all in here. I zoomed out a little bit. This is our goddamn kit put together here. We have to work on the backpack, which we will next. The regular backpack. We'll build the regular ass backpack, and then we'll start working on the weapons, and then after that, Yeah, we'll build the weapons and then start adding in all of the clear pieces that we have to add into. We'll get all those together. Because we got to put all them clear pieces into. Basically, we have to do the C pack, and then when that's done, we can do the B pack. Because yeah, this has got so much shit to put on here. I have never actually read the manga, and I'm too sack-pilled, but I'm still interested. Yeah, I mean, like, so a thing to recognize is the standalone complex goes, let's take all this cyberpunk stuff, this cyberpunk stuff rules, but we're telling a grimdark tale more than we're telling a cyberpunk, how do I say this? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I don't care that it's bigger. We'll zoom in. One of the elements of cyberpunk is that it is obviously futuristic, and there are a lot of things about cyberpunk, but it is sardonic, and it is often kind of fun and irreverent. And Standalone Complex does have its moments here and there, but Standalone Complex does focus a bit on what if only a couple people were ever a little silly, and mostly everyone just kicks ass. And they do kick ass in Ghost in the Shell. But maybe they don't kick as much ass as you would be expecting them to. And also, there's some goofy stuff here and there. And it's a much, characters, I find them to be much more flushed out. And especially our major, she is much more of a well-rounded character and much more of a human character, which I think is awesome. So the idea that they are being heavily inspired by this being a manga adaptation is really cool. And I'm sure that some people will look at it, and I've seen comments on the trailer. There are going to be people who are going to be big mad about this shit because it is not what they think of Ghost in the Shell. And it's like, yeah. It's not going to be your Ghost in the Shell. But I think that's exciting because I should also say, if they were just going to do a remake of Standalone Complex, you just need a studio that does pretty work, right? You get A1 Pictures, you get Mappa's C team to do that shit. Their Bones Film, there are a bunch of studios out there that would give you a refresh of Standalone Complex that looks gorgeous. If you're hiring Science Saru to do Ghost in the Shell, you want it to be a little weird, be a little wacky, be a little kooky. Like, you don't pay Science Saru. Kyoto Animation. Kyoto Animation would do a phenomenal, gorgeous looking. I mean, they also would get weird with it, but there are companies that would do just straight beautiful look and be a pretty honest, like, reimagining or retelling of Standalone Complex. But again, if you're getting Science Saru, you gotta let them get fucking weird with it. And it looks like they did let them get weird with it, and that's cool. That's cool as hell. I'm excited for that. I haven't really looked at the July or the summer season. Maybe we'll talk about that on Thursday, because I think this might be a slow news week. You know, I say that now, and then news will break tomorrow, and it'll be fucking wackadoo. But right now, it feels like a light news week. So maybe we'll look ahead on Thursday and talk about some of that. Lord Crashin wants me to hit the dance button, and I will. Let me get these parts in, and then I will hit the dance button, or I can do it while I'm doing this. I don't know. But this is being annoying, so hold on. I will do it. You did use your channel points for the dance button, so I am honor bound to give you that dance button. This? Where does this go? Pointing at something. This? No. This? No. No, no, no. Can at least, like... This I understand, this goes here. I understand that this goes here. That's going in second, and that I can, like, figure out that that's where that's going to go. I'm not going to push it in too far. It's where you go. You would go like that, right? Is that how it goes? Okay, that's how that goes. I want to say that's how that goes. There's more to this kit, so... Yes, because this lifts up, and then a thing slides in, and that goes through. Okay, so that's how that goes. All right. Before we take our pause for the cause, I will do hit the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. Here's the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. That was the dance button. Let me get out one more piece here, and then we'll take our proper pause for the cause. D20 is this piece here. I do think that, of course, it won't be till June that I do the what do you call that? What am I blanking here? Oh, my. Well, in this case, it'll be spring wrap-up / summer preview. Normally, that would be a Tuesday. I think that in June, I will do that on a Saturday. I have been thinking about doing that. We'll go to the this camera here. I've been thinking about doing that instead of doing a video and then it comes out, or I do a video and then it comes out like 6 days later, and then all of that, like, usually the day after I film one of those, a bunch of anime that I didn't know where it was going to go get announced where they're going to go. So I kind of want to do something where it's like, okay, if it was going to come out, let's say July 6th, then on July 4th, I would record that. And then just put it out on that Monday. Instead of doing it, in that case, it would be if I wanted it to come out, again, I don't know what date exactly. If I wanted to come out on July 6th, I record on the 4th. Otherwise, I would record it on the 30th of June. And so I'm thinking of trying that out. And what would happen that week was that Tuesday that I normally would record it would just be another gaming or conversation or something stream. And then I would just take one build stream off that week and do it like that. That's what I'm thinking about. Am I going to do that for sure? I don't actually know yet, but that is the thing I'm thinking about. Now, what I'm thinking about right now is throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can put those in the chat right now, and I would love that. We are currently at 21 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. I shut up about how many subscribers I have when I had 30. If you want to gift a sub, you could do that. On June 1st, I will announce everything that's going to happen on my my big subathon on the 23rd. That'll be the big push. I'm trying to get to 30 before the subathon starts, because the very first thing of the subathon will be a thing that happens when I'm at 30 subscribers, which will be either a Lego build or a model kit build. It'll be a entry grade kit or a Lego set. It'll be one of those two. I haven't decided which one yet. But that, I'm gonna have to get 30 subscribers by June 23rd for that to happen. So just saying, just throwing it out there. Let's see. What else can I say about that? That would be good to say. Oh, being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. Hey, if you have Amazon Prime, if you get an Amazon Prime so you can watch Ghost in the Shell, make sure you also are using that token and use it for me if you want it. That would be cool. There are other ways to support me. That's just the easiest way. I just lost a $5 patron over on Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear, which is a shame. If you would like to become a patron, you could do that at the $1, $3, or $5, or $10 tier. When people go, it's a shame. I wish they would stick around, but I appreciate that they were there for any length of time. So consider joining me over on Patreon. There are rewards. I will have a poll for my $10 patrons about what I'm doing after this is done. I probably do that tomorrow, I think, or Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to be finishing. I think I'm going to finish this on Saturday, but I want to know what's on deck. And it will be a Lego set. They'll be able to vote on one of 2 Lego sets because I need a break from model kits after all of those Zaku 2s and this. I want to do a Lego set just to relax a little bit. Let's see. Also, I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free. If you want to become a member over there, it's just $2 a month, and you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you'll be able to see the last video I recorded on my previous graphics card, which doesn't mean anything, but I recorded it already, so it's already up, and I'm not going to re-record it. But that video goes out on Wednesday for everybody, but you'll be able to see it tomorrow. And so you should check that out. That's a great sell, I think. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you want to throw $1 or something in my tip jar, you can go to Ko-Fi or ko-fi.com/PatBear or paypal.me/itspatbear. I have It's Pat Bear, not Pat Bear. It's annoying, but that's true. Everything I make through direct donations like that, through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So when you watch my videos and you suffer through ads, I also benefit from that. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund I pull money in to buy equipment like the overhead lights that I recently got, and model kits and Lego sets like the Lego sets that I'll be building in the future. I have a backlog that I can't wait to dig into because we've been working on cool shit that was purchased for me to build. Now, if you also want to do that, if you want to buy something for me to build and have it jump the queue and become the next thing I work on, I have an Amazon wish list, and that's the easiest way to do that. Go to my wish list, and you can find model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive stuff, expensive stuff. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you can purchase it, and then it will come to me in the mail, and then I will build the thing that you bought, that you spent your money on. Again, it will jump the queue, because that's the least I could do. I have one of the Gelgoogs. There were like, I think 2 Gelgoogs that were from G-Quux. One of that's on the list. Some Lego stuff, some knockoff Lego stuff is on there. Some cool model kits that I would be happy to build. If you see one on there and you're like, yes, Pat, I would like you to build Logan the Mighty Panda, which is from Lego Dreams. Let me build Logan. He's a big mech panda. It's pretty cool looking. You could buy that and then I'll build it. That's the thing you could do. You could. I'm not going to stop you. I'm going to encourage you. Everybody knows Logan, right? Yeah, from Lego Dreams. Also, my alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Thrones, so take a look at that. And if you want to support me financially, but it's got to be complicated, go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or on Blue Sky or Mastodon. You could send a private message, and then I will use that to buy something from USA Gundam Store. Again, you could do that. That's a way to support me if you want to. Okay. If you want to support me, but you don't want to spend any money, you can join my Discord. I got a Discord, and I'd love to have you over there. Come hang out in the Discord. A couple of video links for you to check out. I've got a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club that I put up literally today. This episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is me recommending spring anime. That's right. We're now halfway through the season, and I got 5 recommendations. A variety for you. Some isekai, some adventure series stuff, some stuff that's just fucking cool as hell. A bunch of different kinds of things you should check out. Again, 5 recommendations. Please watch that video. Once again, I recommended a show that is in its 4th season, but you should still watch it, even if you go back and watch the other ones. But I did recommend a show that I was like, hey, it's the 4th season, but it's so fucking good. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun is top tier, and it's remarkable that a show that is a comedy has 4 seasons. It is remarkable that a show that is like 2 cores usually has like 20 something episodes a season, that even happens for comedy, and it's very fun and lighthearted and cool. And there's some action, there's some romance, there's a little bit of everything, but it's really fun. You should check that out. That's also the last video with background remover that I recorded with my old my old graphics card. I recorded that on Friday, and my new graphics card came out on Saturday. So that's the last of that era of bad green screen, which is cool, because this works way better. I mean, it's not perfect. It ain't perfect. It would, honestly, the background remover would be perfect for me if I didn't wear this bandana, because it blends in with the chair too much. If my chair wasn't black or my bandana wasn't black, it would be better. But that's what we're getting. We're not getting anything different than that. That's what it is. Maybe I could put a sheet. I could put like a blanket on my chair, but then that would look weird. So I'm not going to do that. The other video I want to recommend that I would love, please watch this. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And for the month of May, I'm recommending shonen. My favorite shonen. And one of my favorite anime of all time. I recommended Yu Yu Hakusho, because I can't believe that I'm into the 3rd year of doing Kuma Baer and I haven't talked about Yu Yu Hakusho yet. Did I make this category for that just so I could talk about it? Yeah, I probably did. It's just so fucking good. Does it hold up? Parts of it don't. Most of it fucking does. Even if you only want to watch up to the point where he comes back from the dead. Like, even if you only want to watch the first arc, it's fantastic. It's so good. Please watch some Yu Yu Hakusho. You can watch it all on Crunchyroll. Yeah, alright. So that's it for me recommending videos that you should watch. And now I'm going to talk about anime that you should be watching along with me. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. Before we get into that, I need to drink a lot of water. We need to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera. And then we got to keep working on this backpack. We gotta get this backpack back. And we'll do all of that right now. Okay. Let's get back into this, and we're going to talk about some anime here. We're going to talk about Kusunoki's Garden of Gods and Always a Catch. We are going to get caught up on Always a Catch. Talk about that 6th episode of Always a Catch? I wrote it down. 6th episode, yeah. So we're now caught up with that show once I talk about it here. All right, so let me get this together and see how this goes together. I will say, these instructions on occasion leave me frustrated. Because I'm like, well, how does this go together? Oh, it goes in like that. Okay. There was probably an angle where they could have shown me how that went together. That would have been nice. But they didn't do that. And that is annoying. All right. So we need some of these pieces here. D15, D14, and D22. We'll get those pieces out while I talk to you about Kusunoki's Garden of the Gods. If you haven't been watching the series, I think you should. I think it is a really fun time. Our main character was helped out some people, and he was given a new ability. Let's see. That if he can see the unseen better, because the wind spirits were trying to help him when he had some fucking problems there, but he couldn't really see them. He couldn't see the unseen, but he has the ability to do that So he's like, okay, I'm going to train that. I'm going to train that ability because he's also hoping that he could seal some exorcism powers inside an object that would help out his friend, Haruma. So he's like, there's a practical reason why he would like to get this good, besides the fact that it would just be good for him to train his powers up. But also he's like, well, if I could help out my friend, that would be nice too. So apparently, the house is also for sale. And people keep canceling, wanting to come see the place. And he's like, I wonder why that is, which is very silly because it's like, it's probably because of the magic you were doing, or it's because the gods don't want someone else to buy the house, my dude. They most likely want you to stay there. So I'm sure that they are interfering, perhaps. And in fact, later we find out that Fujin and Raijin have been driving the buyers off because they don't want Minato to leave. Meanwhile, he is off. He's not leaving, but he is off on a journey to collect bamboo shoots to help with his training, which is again probably just to get rid of him, but maybe it'll help. And Fujin is like, maybe we should like grant him more abilities. Maybe that would help. And that would make him want to stay. And it's like, well, you want him to still be a human, because at a certain point, he's going to become like a minor god if they keep infusing more and more powers and abilities in him. So, which is like, you know, probably a little worrisome. Will he still be the guy that they like? Let's see. A bear shows up, and Minato's like, that's not great. So Minato is frightened, reasonably, I would say, reasonably frightened of this bear. I think, like, that is a totally legit thing to be like, oh, shit, a bear is here. But don't worry about it. That bear is a servant of Kirin and is just there to help. That bear is, like, here and wants to help with the bamboo harvest. Minato's just like, hey, I don't understand why eating bamboo would help me. Could you explain? And Yamagami's just like, no, it's about relaxing because you are really stressed out and worried. And so I would love for you to relax. And so that was the whole point of getting the bamboo, which is a fun little bit of business, and I was surprised about. Okay, we don't need any more of M1 and M2. They say that we can trash those, so we will. Let's try to get these things together. They kind of give me an explanation of how these go together. This looks like this. This goes in here to cover. And then this, I am unsure how this goes in. So hold on. Okay, that went in like that. Okay, so that goes in like that. And then we can do the same thing on the other side. And hopefully I'm doing this correctly, but I'm a little worried I'm not. Okay, and then Ebisu shows up. So we got another god coming by. And I don't believe we've seen Ebisu before. But Ebisu is here to trade and gives a gift of a taiyaki in exchange for using the hot spring. And unfortunately, we had the moment where like, oh, he's becoming something more than human. And Ebisu is just like, oh, wow, this guy's more than a normal human. But that might be because of the powers he's been given, but that might just be Minato's backstory. Could be. Then a black fox shows up, and that is servant of the god of the neighborhood mountain. The next door mountain. So there's a black fox named Sumugi, And also is just like, hey, they're also doing some trading, and so basically the neighboring mountain god is like apparently really likes sushi and hasn't had a sushi offering in a long time, so they trade sushi. And okay, so we do this, we do that part. This is a really detailed fucking backpack. Jesus Christ, we did all that, and then we put in the rockets. And then this thing will be done. And here are the these little pieces that I cut out by mistake earlier. I thought these were supposed to be the things on the bottom of the feet, but these are for the rockets, which makes sense. And then we need L7 and I16. We'll get those together. And then the backpack will be done. And we'll be really fucking shaping up. And then it's weapons time. Okay, so they trade and they give him a golden peach, which is in folklore, because this is all obviously lots of Japanese folklore. There's a whole thing about a person inside of the peach and all this other stuff. Peach boy, that is a whole goddamn thing. So, and I was like, oh boy, what's going to happen here? And Minato is like, finally has this kind of realization, all this stuff, all these changes I've been going through, oh man, am I still human? Am I going to change as a person because of all of this? Like, he's a little worried. Yamamogi's just like, you don't have to worry about it. And then Yamamogi's like, okay, there's something about something in your past might help you and your abilities to seal and all of that. So like maybe we're finally going to get a little backstory of our main character, who's very good at being an exorcist, even though not an exorcist. And then we're going to get a flashback next episode, because the episode ends with our guy recalling that about the first spirit that he ever encountered when he was 5. So we are going to get some goddamn backstory with our character in the next episode, which is cool. I thought this was fun. This was a good one. If the Haruma stuff doesn't do it for you, if the like exorcist with the cool powers that he borrowed from the normal guy, if that stuff isn't your cup of tea, you didn't get any of that in this episode. There's like mention of him, but that's about it. So if that's the thing you don't love, then you're good on that. Okay, got that in. Our backpack is done, and the backpack pops in here, and then you press down. Cool, we got our backpack. It's a little weird. The blue in this I find strange. It's in the side. It's in the skirt, and it's in the feet, and it's in the backpack. And there's like not, to me, enough blue in this. And there would be more blue, except that there's going to be clear parts, right? The parts that would be blue on this are clear, and so it's like, okay, that makes some sense. And we're not going to get to those clear parts. Well, are we? Now, the next step that this instruction booklet tells me to do is to make the weapons, right? We do the weapons, we do the shield. There's a sticker that's involved in the weapons. The remaining stickers we have here, we put those on the weapons with the gun. There's the shield thing. We got to do that. And then after that, there's some clear parts that we can put in. And I wonder, I'm going to do a poll. What should I do next? I'm doing a poll, and the poll will be, what I should do next will be clear parts or weapons. And I am not going to allow additional votes using channel points, and I'm going to put it up for 3 minutes. and I'm going to start the poll. The poll is created. So feel free to vote. We got a couple minutes here, and then I will end the poll. But what would you like to see? Would you like me to start filling in the clear parts on this kit? We do have this sheet of clear parts here to go on our cool kit, and we can start adding that in. Or if you would rather see me build the gun and the shield next, and then start working on the clear parts, you could also vote for that. And I'm going to let this poll go here for a little bit longer, and then we'll get into that. Because we'll get into those things there. I'll start talking about Always a Catch next, because it's nice to talk about some anime stuff here. If you haven't been watching this one, our girl Maria, she was raised to be the heir, even though she's a girl, and then she had a younger brother, and she was like, oh, now I gotta get married. She got engaged to a prince of a neighboring kingdom. Now she is returning home to see her family, where her dad is kind of distraught that she got engaged, even though he's the one that told her to. And also her sisters are coming by, and it's going to be this whole thing. They're not meeting the guy, but they are seeing her for the first time, that she's returning. And it's kind of nice to do all that. One thing about doing a poll in here is, in the dash, I have lost all... I can't look at chat right now while this poll is going, because I did a poll in the dashboard of Twitch instead of doing it through whatever, and it's weird because now I don't see chat. What would the clear parts be for? So sorry, I should have answered that and I couldn't see that last break. There are parts that are missing here. So the arms, the legs, the feet, you can tell right here. You see this part here, how there's just like inner skeleton? There's no clear part. The clear parts go here. We're going to fill in parts that would normally be blue on this, like the legs, the arms. I think some parts around the shoulders, maybe. I can't remember. But there are a bunch of clear parts that we just haven't done yet. And so we will do that. Let me see here. Well, right now, clear parts is winning the poll, which is good. So we're going to jump to the clear parts, I guess, because that is indeed winning the poll. We'll see. I'll let it play out. But yeah, I lost ability to look at chat while this poll is up, which seems like a big mistake on Twitch's part. Whatever. I'll let the poll end, and then I will start talking about Always a Catch and what's going on here. But I believe, yeah, we'll just... we'll let the poll play out here and view results. And the results are 2-0, clear parts. That's fun. Oh, I guess there's a browser source, which I didn't realize there was one that I could have clicked. But whatever. We're done with that. I don't do polls. That is implemented a little oddly, Twitch, but whatever. All right, so we're going to jump ahead. We are not going to do the gun and the shield. The shield also has clear parts in it, so eventually we'll do that. But we are going to do the clear parts that go in this kit. Now, basically, they're telling me that if this was a regular kit and not the VerKa, there'd be gray parts that would go in there. But we don't have the VerKa, and sometimes gray and sometimes blue. So instead, we are going to be taking out the C parts here. So they want me to take the arms off, because we're going to be starting with the chest, which is interesting. So we took the arms off, and then we were looking for C1. And, so I got to take the clear part off, and then... Wait, what am I going to do here? Pull this up. And then take this piece off. Wait. I'm immediately like, what do you want me to do? I gotta figure out where C1 goes. Let me get C1 out here, and then we'll see about C1. We just got raided by the Theme Fiasco. Welcome, Raiders. Happy to have you here. Appreciate you being here. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets and the like. We are currently working on the Narrative Gundam Master Grade, but it's the BPAX VerKa version. So it's not just the normal one. It is the one with extra parts, including some clear parts that we are just starting to figure out how to put on, which should be interesting because I don't quite know how to do that. Well, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, happy to have you here, Raiders. Because we got a bunch of Raiders in. We will forego talking about Always a Catch, and I will get caught up on Always a Catch another time. So we'll forego the anime recap of that episode. Although, as I said, Always a Catch is a fun show. All right, so I don't know how this piece goes in. It goes in like this. But I'm not sure where it goes. Because they're like, okay, so this piece flips up. I understand that. And then one of these pieces comes out. Is it replacement? How does this work? This is rough that we just got this raid, and I'm like, I don't know how this works. But I don't quite understand how this works. I think... Does it feel like that? Yeah, I think it goes in like that. I think that's how that works. Well, we'll take that aside. They're like, that flips up, and then something comes out, and this goes down. And I'm like, I don't know why. Only a matter of time before I get to pilot an IRL Gundam. Join the Air Force and might apply as a drone operator. Yeah, I mean, you know... Mobile suits are probably a long way away. Drones are, you know, maybe I wouldn't say that a drone is exactly a Gundam, but it's closer than, you know, than any kind of robot, any other kind of robot, I guess. So yeah, it's pretty close, I would say. Okay, so what am I doing wrong here? This is always fun. This is always fun when you're just like, okay, instructions, what do you want me to do? Like, I think you want me to put this on like here. I would think that this is how this goes, that it would fit in there. But it's being annoying. This is a good start to this. Where I'm like, okay. Let me get this going and then let me figure this part out. So it goes like that. And a clear part. And yeah, it would clearly go here. One of the issues also with the image of the VerKa that we have is that it doesn't show me the clear parts. So like I can look at it, I'm making this obviously very big, but it's not going to show me the clear parts. So like, where do you want to go? How do you want to work? It's like, okay, well then should I do the other one? Do the other one on the other side? This piece goes down. Okay, so this piece comes down. Look at that. And then that should theoretically give me enough wiggle room to get this piece in where it's supposed to go. Just here. I could have just worked on the weapons, but I was like, oh, well, you know, I kind of want to see how these clear parts work, so we'll go to the clear parts next. Kind of neat. So, it goes down. And it goes down. And then... Oh, I am missing a step here. Okay, so there's a piece on here that goes forward, but I don't know how that would go forward. Okay, I was missing a step. There's a little piece here that has to slide forward, and this slides down. And then with that, maybe I can now get this piece that looks like that. In he, yeah, okay, there it is. Great. Okay. And then this comes up again. That was weird. That was a weird way to do that. There it is. All right, we got our first clear piece, which is hard for you to see, but it is there. All right, and then there is a thing that's going to go under here, which is C12 into G20 into C11. Okay. One of the things I like least about clear sheets is the numbers are, for me, hard to read because they are clear. Pretty self-explanatory. Oh, we've got some time left in the stream for folks that are new here. Hello, but also people that have been around for a while. This is the part of the stream where I like to hear from you, the viewer, what you got going on, what you've been up to, if you've been watching any anime, watching any TV. Did you go to the movies over the weekend? Did you have a good weekend? What do you got going on? Playing any video games? And then I let you know. I'll give you a chance to write something while I tell you that yesterday I just did a bunch of research for my stream tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, not a model kit building stream. My Tuesday streams are not model kit building. I am going to be presenting some old wrestling. These are from New Japan, All Japan Women's, and Gaia. I believe I have 5 matches set aside. I might get a 6th just to have it as a backup. And it'll be pro wrestling matches where I will deliver commentary. Some of the matches I've seen in the past, and some I've never seen before, but I just know that they will be interesting. And I will talk about the wrestlers and the wrestling, the history of it and all of that. These are old wrestling matches, but they should still be pretty fun. And that will be this Tuesday. So I did a bunch of research yesterday all about that. I watched the wrestling show last night with some friends, and that was a good time. We all watched together. Thank you, Discord. And so that was a good time. And yeah, I just kind of hung out after doing some of that research. And also, I watched the bonus OVA for the final season of My Hero Academia. I watched that again. Have I seen that final episode, the OVA, already? Yes. Did I watch it again? Also, yes. It's just really good. It's just really fun and a good time. That last season just kicked so much ass. And this bonus episode is just really fun. It's the same stuff from the manga, very little different, but I still think it's really neat. Kishi671 said, I'm about to start on an EW Wing Zero VerKa soon. Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's a good looking kit, that VerKa. The Endless Waltz Wing Zero is just, it's so fucking excellent. Okay, so this is supposed to go, avoid the waste when attaching. I don't even know where this is supposed to go, so let me figure this out. Kind of gonna match based on this. So this goes in here into... This is weird. There's like a little slot in here for this to go. But when I go and slot it in, it's not immediately catching. Oh, it's a weird little thing. I also don't remember a lot about the narrative Gundam. That is a thing I am finding with this build, is that there are times where I'm like, I don't remember what this is supposed to look like. I don't remember what this part of the kit is supposed to look like, and that's a bad thing. I should remember what it looks like. I didn't see it that long ago. I was working on the Master Grade Full Cloth tonight. Hell yeah! That's awesome. This narrative Gundam has been a very fun build. I have enjoyed my time with this build quite a bit. All right, let's get the other piece in here that we got to do the other side. Now it's been a little weird because I'm working with these small clear parts. But yeah, this has been a fun kit to put together. It all came together pretty well. We just body completed it, and so now we're working on these parts. Still have to do the weapons, but I felt like I put it up to a vote, and the winner of the poll was, yeah, Pat, just get these things together. Need that later. I need this now. I'm gonna just get all the clear pieces I need for this parts here, and I'll do more in a moment. I kind of want to buy another Wing Zero, hopefully a Master Grade, to use its wings for a different kit that has wings. Oh, it's a Digimon that has a second form, and the second form has wings, but it does not have a kit. Only the first form does. Ooh, okay, all right. One of the Digimon, yeah, okay. That makes sense. I mean, the wings are pretty great. The Wing Zero Master Grade wings are phenomenal. Someday, I'm gonna get that goddamn Tall Geese 3 from the manga version of Tall Geese 3, the Flugen. I'm going to get that thing. I'm going to get the Tall Geese 3, or that has Endless Waltz Tall Geese 3, that has goddamn wings. I just want Premium Bandai to release it. That's really what I want. I want them to re-release it, because then the price will come down a little bit for the people that are still trying to sell them out there. That's what I want more than just about anything else. I don't see it happening, but one can hope. Because I love the Tall Geese 3, and I think the Tall Geese 3 with the fucking big wings would be cool as hell. Lastbrook watched Burn After Reading for the Nextlander Watchcast. The Nextlander folks do a bonus podcast for patrons where they review movie stuff. Movies and sometimes TV shows, but mostly movies. And they're watching Burn After Reading. And I think it's upgraded slightly from my old opinion of I hate it. It has plenty of the normal Cohen hijinks, but there's obviously zero likable characters. Then I had the fun experience of losing power for 12 hours in the middle of browning ground beef. I will say, Lastbrook, losing power while cooking is one of the worst things. Obviously, losing power in general sucks, a big one. But yeah, losing power while you were doing the cooking, that's fucking rough. So sorry to hear that. Slept very little, and I'm still trying to sort out what I need to toss from my fridge. Fun times. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, we got it in. That was this side. I knew what I was doing with this piece, but it still was annoying to do. So that's a fun combo. Okay, and now we got to do the other one, which I'm still not quite sure what I was doing with that, where I need G20. And then they tell me that I'm done with G, but I'm not, because I need these parts for the weapons that and shield that I haven't built yet. I was saying earlier, folks, that there's an interesting thing about this instruction booklet, which it has a trash icon for when you finish a runner. When everything on a runner is done, they say, like, oh, you can get rid of that now, which I don't know if I've seen before. I probably have, and I don't remember it, but it stood out to me as being an interesting thing to have that icon. I think that's helpful. Of course, in this case, it's not as helpful because we skipped ahead of some steps, so it's not accurate. But it's still interesting. It would also be interesting when you buy a kit that is a variation of a previous kit, and there are parts you don't need, but they're just on the runner because it was cheaper to just make them. And they have that thing in the beginning of the booklet where it's like, you don't need these. Having that icon show up later would also be helpful, I think. Oh God, Lashbrook, I'm so sorry. The kicker is I just gone grocery shopping, the grocery store, hours before. Oh, it's like they waited for you to be done with your groceries. Oh, that's a shame. That sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Oof. Oofta. Lorecraft says, I've been delivering cargo across Montana and American Truck Simulator. Yep, thank you, that helps. Ahead of Illinois, arriving in a few days. These achievements are very picky about delivering specific items to specific places when the jobs offered are so random. Yeah, that I've heard that before. You're not the first person to say that like the jobs are random, but the achievements are specific. And it's like, oh, I mean, I guess that encourages you to play more and more and more, but it's kind of weird that they do that. Yeah. That is strange. But you're not the first person to say that I know. Okay. All right, that went in. Okay. So we're done with the arm pieces we need to put in, and now we got to do the waist pieces. So we'll slide this in. Oh, this is a core fighter in here. If you're unaware that we have the core fighter and it can transform, but then it folds up, and I had to look up the instructions for this were not good. And so I watched a YouTube short of someone transforming this. Thank God. Thank you. I was so happy that someone did that. And I just like watched the video and kept going back as they did it pretty quickly. So I'm not going to undo that, but it is cool that it's there. And then this slides in. Oh, God. There we go. There we are. All right. So we can put the arms back on. Oh, we could put the arms back on. And then we got to get, we can get a little bit of the waist done here. But yeah, we're slowly going to be getting into the clear pieces that go on this kit, which are pretty neat. And then, yeah, and then we'll do weapons another time. Lorecraft says, I need to deliver waste paper to some processing centers, but they aren't guaranteed to be available. I ended up taking filler jobs and hoping they show up the next time. Yeah, that's frustrating if you are achievement hunting. Now, of course, Lord Crashington, the real big brain play is to not care about that at all. And I understand that is mean of me to say like that, but not caring about the achievements, excuse me, is freeing. That is a freeing event. You don't have to care about that. All right, so we pulled this out, and I don't know why, but we pulled that out, and we opened this up. And then we're going to replace this with a different part. So we'll do that now. A10 and A9. Or not A10 and A9, sorry. C15, C16, because we want the clear parts. We don't even have the alternative. They don't even give the alternative in this. They're like, no, you're just doing the clear parts for this. This is the VerKa B packs. You don't get a choice. So it's like, okay. So we'll do this next. Yes, we were pulling out. We did pull out. It's important. Lorecraft says, not caring is me barely playing by the rules of the road. Okay, that's how you don't care about that. Okay. However you want to do it. I hear you. Clear. And so this piece goes away. And then I'm going to have to clip this in, I should say. Oop. Didn't want to do it. Did it do it there? It did. Okay. And then this basically covers almost the whole thing, which is weird. Yeah, it's strange. We put this piece in, and then we don't fully cover it, but we cover a lot of it. That doesn't look right. I feel like that should cover more of that. So maybe I'm not putting enough prep. Maybe I didn't clip this one in well enough. So we pull this out. I also want to make sure that I'm not knocking any of these pieces over, because it's the side skirts and the front skirts of kits, and those are, often don't do what you want them to do. Okay. So yeah. But that is correct how I'm doing this. As always, friends, sometimes it is the instructions not being clear, and sometimes it's just you not doing it right. Okay, so that's correct there, I think. We put this back together here. All right. And then these front pieces need to go. But this piece we don't need anymore. We put that in there as like a stopgap, I guess. And then I think these pieces are going to go back. Yeah. Go on there? Yeah, I think so. Oh, and the side skirt pieces have some clear parts. They're going to go in there as well. Okay. And then the backpack. Oh, there's booster rockets for the butt. And we got to put those in, and those have clear parts. So that's cool. And the right arms. Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, there's definitely going to be more pieces that go on here, right? And there are. Okay. So there's some clear parts that go on the arms as well. And that's good. Well, yeah, even these pieces come out, huh? Okay, all right. The left arm. And then there's parts that go around the leg. I knew that because that looked unfinished. And around here, there's going to be some new parts. Yeah, okay. And then even the backpack has some clear parts to go in it. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then we got to build weapons, and we got to build the shield. And the shield has some clear parts as well. And then if I wanted to, I could add in... There are so many slides, water slides. There are so many water slides on this kit. And we could put some of those water slides on here. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably not going to do too many of them. I might do a couple of them. Probably not going to do too many of them. And then after that's done, then we have the other instruction booklet here to build the B-packs. We got to build the B-packs. And it's got its own instruction manual of how to do all this whole thing. Man, thinking I'm going to be done with this on Saturday is probably an exaggeration, or probably underselling it. Yeah, and we got... the B-packs also have their own stand, basically, because this thing might just get really top-heavy and crazy. There's a lot more left on this kit. And that's a future Pat problem. Because for tonight, we've got just a little bit of clear parts on here, and then we'll have to put more clear parts on in the future. But I'm liking how this looks. I think this looks neat. I think it's coming together real well. Future Pat has to do the waters. No, Future Pat might do a couple water slides, but probably won't. We'll probably just be satisfied to do these two green stickers here that have to go on the weapons, and probably won't care too much about the many water slides that are on this kit. But yeah, that is going to do it for tonight, though. We did have a raid, and I'm very happy about that. And the thing that we do around here is we also go on a raid at the end of every stream. So I'm very happy that I'm not the... obviously, I know I'm not the only one doing it out there. But it's always nice when you see people, coming in here. And we will find someone cool to go raid. I hope you'll come along with that. If you haven't already, hit the follow button. I stream... model kit building Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. On Tuesdays, like tomorrow, I do a stream that is not model kit building, as I said. And tomorrow's stream, I'm going to be watching some old wrestling and doing commentary on it. I'll tell you about one of the matches that we will be looking at tomorrow. I'll give you a tease. We're going to watch Jushin Thunder Liger and Power Warrior, who went on to use other names, versus the Steiner brothers from 1994 New Japan. Liger versus the Steiner brothers in Japan with Power Warrior. That shit's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun match to watch. So we'll check that out on tomorrow night, plus other matches, as I said, a plethora. Right now, we are going to go hang out with Mary Kish. Mary Kish is playing Forbidden Solitaire, which is, of course, an excellent name for a video game. So we're going to go hang out with Mary. I hope you'll come along on this raid. I hope you'll come back tomorrow for some wrestling and come back on Thursday for more model kit building. I will talk to you all very soon. And thank you all so much for being here. I hope you had a great time. Yeah, let's go hang out with Mary Kish. She's the best. Good night, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.